Have you ever noticed how starting is easy, but continuing is brutally hard? Gyms are full in January and empty by March. Notebooks begin with beautiful handwriting and end with blank pages. Big dreams are announced loudly but pursued quietly. And then, often, abandoned silently. The truth is uncomfortable but undeniable. Talent is common, ambition is everywhere, motivation is cheap. But consistency is rare. And the rarity of consistency is exactly why it is so powerful. Consistency is not rare because people don't understand its importance. Almost everyone knows that showing up daily matters. Athletes know it, entrepreneurs know it, students know it. The problem is not awareness. The problem is endurance. Consistency demands repetition without applause, effort without immediate reward, and discipline without emotional excitement. Human psychology, however, is wired for novelty, instant gratification, and emotional stimulation. We crave results, not routines. We celebrate breakthroughs, not the boring process behind them. And so, when progress becomes slow and invisible, most people disengage. Another reason consistency is rare is because motivation is misunderstood. People think motivation creates consistency, when in reality, consistency creates motivation. Waiting to feel like it is the fastest way to become inconsistent. Feelings fluctuate daily. Energy drops. Moods shift. Life intervenes. If action depends on emotion, action becomes unstable. Highly consistent individuals reverse the equation. They act first and let motivation catch up later. This psychological inversion is subtle but powerful, and very few people train themselves to operate this way. Consistency is also rare because modern environments are designed to destroy focus. Notifications, social media, entertainment platforms, and endless digital distractions fragment attention spans. Deep work requires uninterrupted time, but uninterrupted time has become a luxury. Every ping competes with long-term goals. Every scroll replaces productive effort. Over time, distraction becomes habit, and habit erodes consistency. The battle is no longer just internal, it is environmental. There is also the emotional toll of delayed results. Consistency pays slowly. You may work for weeks with no visible progress. Months may pass before recognition appears. This silent phase is where most people quit. The human brain seeks reward loops, effort followed by visible outcome. When the loop is delayed, the brain interprets effort as waste. Doubt creeps in. People question the process, not realizing that consistency compounds invisibly before it compounds visibly. Fear plays a hidden role as well. Not fear of failure alone, but fear of commitment. Consistency requires choosing one path repeatedly. That means saying no to alternatives, distractions, and short-term pleasures. Many people prefer the illusion of progress over the discomfort of commitment. Starting new things feels productive, but staying with one thing feels restrictive. So they restart endlessly, mistaking motion for growth. Perfectionism quietly sabotages consistency too. People believe if they cannot do something perfectly, they should not do it at all. This mindset kills momentum. Consistency thrives on imperfect action, showing up when tired, producing average work, practicing badly, but practicing anyway. Perfectionists wait for ideal conditions, and ideal conditions rarely arrive. Consistent performers accept flawed execution as part of the journey. Identity also shapes consistency. If someone sees themselves as disciplined, their behavior aligns with that belief. If they see themselves as lazy or easily distracted, inconsistency becomes self-fulfilling. Actions reinforce identity, and identity reinforces actions. The rare individuals who sustain consistency consciously build identities around reliability, discipline, and follow-through. They don't just perform consistent actions, they become consistent people. Another overlooked factor is boredom tolerance. Consistency is repetitive by nature. Practice, execution, refinement, over and over. Most people seek stimulation, not repetition, but mastery hides inside monotony. The ability to tolerate boredom is a competitive advantage. Elite performers don't love every repetition. They love what repetition produces. Social environments influence consistency too. If peers lack discipline, inconsistency becomes normalized. Skipping workouts, delaying work, abandoning plans, all become socially acceptable. But when surrounded by consistent individuals, standards rise. Behavior calibrates to environment. Consistency is contagious, but so is inconsistency. There is also the illusion of intensity. People overvalue short bursts of extreme effort and undervalue steady, moderate effort. Working 12 hours once feels productive. Working 2 hours daily feels insignificant, until months pass. Intensity impresses. Consistency compounds. The rare few understand that sustainability beats spectacle. Energy management further explains why consistency is scarce. People rely on willpower alone, ignoring sleep, nutrition, and mental recovery. Exhaustion erodes discipline. Decision fatigue weakens follow-through. Consistent performers design systems, routines, schedules, automation, reducing reliance on raw willpower. Time perception plays tricks too. Humans underestimate what small daily actions produce over years. Writing one page daily seems trivial until it becomes a book. Saving small amounts seems pointless until it becomes wealth. Because the brain struggles to visualize long-term accumulation, consistency feels unrewarding in the short term. Failure interruptions also break consistency. Missing one day often becomes missing many. People adopt an all-or-nothing mindset. Once the streak breaks, they quit entirely. The rare, consistent individuals treat lapses as temporary, not terminal. They resume quickly instead of restarting emotionally. Recognition delay is another silent killer. Society celebrates outcomes, awards, profits, transformations, not the years of unseen consistency behind them. Without external validation, many lose momentum. Consistent individuals operate without applause, trusting process over praise. Technology has amplified comparison, which erodes consistency further. Seeing others' highlight reels creates discouragement. Progress feels slow when compared to curated success stories. Instead of continuing, people disengage, assuming they are behind. Consistency is rare because it is lonely. Few people maintain long-term discipline. Walking a path others abandon creates isolation. Without community reinforcement, quitting becomes easier. Yet, precisely because consistency is rare, it is disproportionately rewarded. In markets flooded with talent and ideas, reliability becomes the differentiator. Employers trust it. Audiences respect it. Businesses scale on it. Trust itself is built on consistency. The compounding effect cannot be overstated. Small daily improvements accumulate into exponential outcomes. Skills sharpen. Networks expand. Confidence grows. Opportunities multiply, not randomly but predictably. Consistency transforms identity. When you show up daily, you begin to trust yourself. Self-trust fuels further action. Momentum builds internally before it manifests externally. It also simplifies decision-making. When behavior is routine, there is no daily negotiation. You don't ask whether to act. You act because it's what you do. This cognitive automation conserves mental energy. Consistency creates resilience. Repetition exposes obstacles repeatedly, forcing adaptation. Over time, challenges that once stopped you become manageable. It also builds credibility with others. Partners, clients, and teams value predictability. Consistent people attract responsibility because they reduce uncertainty. Perhaps the deepest power of consistency is that it reshapes time itself. Days feel slow, but years accelerate results. What seems insignificant daily becomes undeniable historically. And so the question is not whether consistency works, it is whether one is willing to endure its boredom, delay, and invisibility long enough to unlock its rewards. If there is one shift that changes everything, it is this. Stop chasing motivation and start protecting routines. Lower emotional dependence. Raise behavioral standards. Make consistency non-negotiable, not conditional. Because in a world obsessed with speed, the patient win. In a culture addicted to excitement, the steady rise. And in a marketplace crowded with starters, the finishers dominate. Consistency is rare not because it is difficult to understand, but because it is difficult to sustain. Yet those who sustain it quietly build extraordinary lives while others repeatedly restart. So start small, stay steady, protect the process, and remember, you don't need to be extreme, you just need to be repeatable. Show up tomorrow, then again the day after. That's where transformation begins. And if this message resonated with you, don't let it end as inspiration alone. Act on it today. Choose one habit, one goal, one commitment, and show up for it daily. Because the rarest trait in the world is also the most powerful. Consistency. And it might just be the edge that changes your entire life.